Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 3, text number 15. Yad uhavava tava punar abhadrakartaha iha samahutas tatrarthadhiyam mandanam nastat yad devahelanam deva devarhasi samyena sarvan Prativodhum avidusham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O Lord, you perform many wonderful activities. Our only aim was to acquire a son by performing this great sacrifice. Therefore, our intelligence is not very sharp. We are not experienced in ascertaining life's goal. By inviting you to this negligible sacrifice for some material motive, we have certainly committed a great offense at your lotus feet. Therefore, O Lord of Lords, please excuse our offense because of your causeless mercy and equal mind. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The priests were certainly unhappy to have called the Supreme Lord from Vaikuntha for such an insignificant reason. A pure devotee never wants to see the Lord unnecessarily. The Lord is engaged in various activities, and the pure devotee does not want to see Him whimsically for his own sense gratification. The pure devotee simply depends on the Lord's mercy. And when the Lord is pleased, he can see Him face to face. The Lord is unseen even by demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. By calling on the Supreme Lord, the priests of Nabi Maharaja proved themselves unintelligent. Nonetheless, the Lord came out of His causeless mercy. All of them, therefore, wanted to be excused by the Lord. Worship of the Supreme Lord for material gain is not approved by authorities, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukritinorjuna artho jignasurartharthi gnani cha bharatarshabha. O best among the Bharatas, Arjuna, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Initiation into bhakti begins when one is in a distressed condition, or in want of money, or when one is inquisitive to understand the Absolute Truth. Nonetheless, people who approach the Supreme Lord in this way are not actually devotees. They are accepted as pious, sukritinaha, due to their inquiring about the Absolute Truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not knowing the various activities and engagements of the Lord, such people unnecessarily disturb the Lord for material gain. However, the Lord is so kind that even though disturbed, He fulfills the desires of such beggars. The pure devotee is anyabhilashita shunya. He has no motive behind his worship. He is not conducted by the influence of Maya in the form of karma or jnana. The pure devotee is always prepared to execute the order of the Lord without personal consideration. The Ritvijaha, the priests at the sacrifice, knew very well the distinction between karma and bhakti. And because they considered themselves under the influence of karma, fruitive activity, they begged the Lord's pardon. They knew that the Lord had been invited to come for some paltry reason. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. This is the last verse of the priest's prayers to the Lord. These priests in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabhi are offering these prayers to Lord Vishnu who has appeared. And in this concluding text, they are expressing some very, very important feelings which demonstrates the principles that they have understood. And followed by a very wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada. We'll try to read and appreciate this. The priests have said, Yadhuva va tava punar adhabhrakartaha. Adhabhrakartaha. Adhabhra means plentiful, not scanty. That is why Prabhupada has translated here, O Lord, who performs many activities. Absolute truth is not insentient. Absolute truth is sentient. Thou hast proved. Is not insentient. Absolute truth is a person. Absolute truth is not inactive. A person who is very active with a lot of activities. Adhabhrakartaha. He has many, many, many activities. Many wonderful activities, many kinds of activities. We'll see more of that in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So, Adhabhrakartaha, the Lord who performs many activities. Iha samahutaha tatrarthabhiyam. Iha samahutaha. But we have petitioned you to come. We have invited you to come. Samahutaha. For what? Tatra arthadhiyam. For some benefit for ourselves. That has been the motive for us. That material benefit, artha, dhyam, that was the intelligence, that was the conception. Due to arthadhyam samahutaha. Not because of premadhyam, not out of love, out of devotion for you. We wanted something arthadhyam, desiring some material benefit. We samahutaha, we invited you. Samahutas tatrarthadhyam mandana. We are so manda. We are so unintelligent. We are so unintelligent in ascertaining the goal of life. Prabhupada has nicely translated, mandanam. Our intelligence is not very sharp. And then he is re-paraphrasing it. We are not experienced in ascertaining life's goal. That's why we are manda. Prayenalpa ishaha sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo. Considered to be not very intelligent. Why? We are not experienced in ascertaining life's goal. That's why Kali Yuga people are considered manda. They don't know what is the substantial goal one can accomplish in human life. Mandanam nastadyat devahelanam. Naha, we, yastad devahelanam. Devahelanam, we have Devahelanam, disrespect of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is actually an insult. What have we done? We have insulted you, O Lord. They are feeling very repentant. Feeling very embarrassed. Lord, you are busy with so many activities in Vaikuntha, but we invited you here. and asking for, we want one son for our king. What have we done? We are not intelligent. So they are feeling Devahelanam. This is disrespect. Like say, I remember when I was in college, I was studying in a hostel, like many of you must have been. And my father used to send, those days, something called money order. I don't know if it is there now, through post office. Certain amount. Every month, maybe by 5th, 6th, I will get it. And with that, I would pay the mess bill and few other expenses. Somebody should be there too. So, okay, every month I would get the money and I would pay the mess bill, and it was very important. And every month, my father would meticulously, responsibly, lovingly, caringly, out of concern, he would send. Suppose I call my father and say, my father, your father, first week you're sending money, no? He's already sending. He knows. He's very concerned. You're sending, right? That would be Pitruhelanam. Insult to the father. Disrespect to the father. Father already knows what he has to do, how much he is caring. Or, for example, it's a small baby. The mother is packing many things, they're going somewhere. Mother is very careful. Feeding bottle, milk, this, right? That's what mothers do. They're carrying all those things. And the small baby says, Mommy, I'll get hungry. I hope you're taking milk for me. The mother is so worried, concerned about the child. Right? The mother knows to take care. Mommy, my milk you're taking. No? That would be Matru Helanam. Not sensitive. The child is not sensitive. No, does not know how much the mother cares. It's an embarrassment for the mother to hear if the child is saying that. Don't I know these things? I heard one saying in Hindi. Somebody told me, "Choti muh bada baat," something like that. It's very small for its position. You're talking too much. Don't talk, sir. Isn't it not right? Not appropriate. It's a disrespect for the mother. Okay, let's come to our lives. A donor. Last 5 years, he is giving every month, first week, 5 lakh rupees. Very devoted to the temple. Very nice man. Whatever difficulty he has, so many years he is doing that. How nicely we will be careful with that donor. Suppose I tell, see, please remind him once again, the money, 5 lakh rupees he should send. What will you say? No, Prabhu, I cannot remind him. No, remind him. Call him and tell him. And if you call, what will he feel? I know I have to give to the temple. I'm giving. No, I just wanted to remind you this week also. I know last 5 years you are sending. This week also. It would be donor Helenam. Isn't it? It's an insult to the donor. Disrespect to the donor. We are not being careful, sensitive. We wouldn't do that. This is not mature conversation with the donor. Some frivolous, not appropriate. In the same way, asking for material benefits from the Lord to take care of our requirement, this is Deva Helanam. How much the Lord is doing to maintain us. Just look at the sun. Every day the sun rises. What is the sun? It's a massive nuclear fusion plant the Lord is maintaining. Just for maintaining us. If the sun doesn't rise, if there is no sunshine, we cannot survive here. He's maintaining a massive nuclear fusion plant. One scientist, for 30, 40 years, he has done research on the chlorophyll molecule, and he calls it a miracle molecule. Because it is this molecule which has the ability to capture the energy from the sunlight and convert it into food. Take the water, take the air, take the energy from the sunlight, convert it to food, and that is the food that we eat, and that sustains every one of us. If we don't eat food, how we will become so weak and unhappy? Right? Just after the class, we'll all rush to the prasadam. Nice prasadam. No, fasting today. Oh, fasting. Okay. Till when? Isn't it? Because we want food and Krishna is providing. Both at the cosmic level, the arrangements the Lord has made. At the molecular level, the arrangements the Lord has made. He is taking care of us so much. Please, I want one son. Please come and give me a son. What have we done? That is why they are saying, Prativodum avidusham. Please excuse us. We are avidusham. We are not vidusham. We are not intelligent. We are avidusham. Prativodum. You see, these are all beautiful things that Prabhupada is teaching us. Prabhupada explains, in the parampara, you will not only get the correct meaning of the verses, you will get the spirit of the verses. Spirit means, what is the feeling? What is the emotion? When Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, what was he feeling? He was feeling, Krishna, Arjuna, now I'm giving you my supreme instruction. Please think of me always. Please love me. Please surrender to me. There is a certain spirit, a sense of urgency, a sense of concern, a sense of loving communication. That is also captured in the parampara by all the acharyas and passed on. That's what Srila Prabhupada has done. That's why when we read Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, we feel like becoming devotees. When you read Dr. Radhakrishnan's Bhagavad Gita, you feel like I should also become a scholar. That's not the intent. Here, Prabhupada wants to move our heart, change our conviction, and surrender to the Lord. This is parampara transmission. So Prabhupada is pointing out here, this priests, what are they saying? They are embarrassed, feeling, please excuse us. What have we done? And this verse, look at these few sentences I'll read in the purport. That's why Prabhupada's purports have to be read in a right frame of mind, in a right frame of consciousness, very carefully, sensitively. Otherwise, we'll miss. Actually, I felt when I read this purport, just for this purport, Srila Prabhupada should be given Bharat Ratna. But of course, the world is not recognizing. Such wonderful, or the Nobel Prize. The sensitivity that is there. I'll read these few sentences. The priests were certainly unhappy to have called the Supreme Lord from Vaikuntha for such an insignificant reason. A pure devotee never wants to see the Lord unnecessarily. The Lord is engaged in various activities. Adhabrakartaha. Various, many activities. The Lord is engaged in various activities. And the pure devotee does not want to see him whimsically for his own sense gratification. The pure devotee simply depends on the Lord's mercy. And when the Lord is pleased, he can see him face to face. I'll read another sentence here. Not knowing the various activities and engagements of the Lord, such people unnecessarily disturb the Lord for material gain. Notice this. Not knowing the various activities and engagements. The Lord has various activities. He's got so many engagements. And petitioning him for some material benefit is a disturbance to the Lord. Unnecessarily disturb the Lord for material gain. Like, say, for instance, this is actually these sentences. The Lord is engaged in various activities and the pure devotee does not want to see him whimsically for his own sins. Does not want to whimsically see, I want to see the Lord. No. The Lord is engaged in various activities. I can't be whimsical. I want to see the Lord. I don't know. That means I don't know who the Lord is. What is the Lord's position? What is Lord's activities? Lord's engagement? I have no idea. I'm going and I want one son. I want one daughter. I want one wife. I want one husband. This is considered distant. This is what Prabhupada is giving. This is insider information about the spiritual world. What is the spiritual world? What is the thinking there? What is the mood there? What goes on there? Prabhupada is sharing. Once we met one gentleman in Delhi, and then he was telling, in our country we know the Gandhi family, Rahul Gandhi, a Congress family. Everybody says it's very difficult to penetrate. They keep their distance like that. Inside what happens, nobody will know. So this person was telling that how he has access to all the senior people there and that. And then he was telling, this happens. That happens. He's sharing. So what is he doing? Because he has access to that. Apparently, we don't know. Anyway, we cannot verify these things. This man was boasting. So of course, possible. Somebody very close to that family may know. And this person said that last 20 years I am connected to that family. Possible. So, he will have insider information, which normally others cannot have. In the same way, here Srila Prabhupada is giving the insider information of the spiritual world. Look at this. The Lord is engaged in various activities and the pure devotee does not want to see him whimsically for his own sense gratification. In the spiritual world, the spiritual world is full of pure devotees. They don't want to whimsically see, I want to see the Lord. I want to enjoy seeing him. No. They're not whimsical. They're not frivolous like that. They respect the Lord, is engaged in various activities. The pure devotee simply depends on the Lord's mercy, and when the Lord is pleased, he can see him face to face. The Lord is unseen even by the demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. By calling on the Supreme Lord, the priests of Nabi Maharaj proved themselves unintelligent. Nonetheless, the Lord came out of his causeless mercy. Look at that situation. It was a disturbance for the Lord. He was busy with so many activities and engagements. He left that and he came. What is his causeless mercy? And all of them, therefore, wanted to be excused. That is why these are all very important, sensitive principles of pure devotional service. That's why Bhagavatam is teaching us all this. Bhagavatam is teaching, and Srila Prabhupada is elaborating that. Otherwise, we will miss out. Not knowing the various activities and engagements of the Lord, such people unnecessarily disturb the Lord for material gain. Not knowing, because they don't know what is Lord's position. Whom Prabhupada is telling about in the context of Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrutino arjuna artho jignasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarshabha. All of these things in this purport, Prabhupada has said, all of them are not devotees. They are sukrutina. They are pious people. They are approaching God. Bhakti, devotee is very, very special thing. Prabhupada is able to give this kind of insider information. I'll give another example. How Prabhupada was able to communicate what is the situation in the spiritual world. Okay, I'll read this. This is one question many times sometimes we have also thought about it. We have got a spiritual body in the spiritual world. Because Prabhupada says that according to our relationship, we get a spirit. And sometimes we get worried. Oh, one body, we are stuck, is it? There is no dynamism. There is no variety. I have to serve Krishna only. It looks little, not all right? So in one conversation, devotees asked Prabhupada a similar question. Can the spiritual body change in the spiritual world? I mean, what a question. How can somebody give an answer unless somebody is from the spiritual world? And who knows the dynamics there? Right? Okay, let's see. In question time, a devotee asked whether the soul in an animal's body would have a different shape to the soul in the human body. So, the soul in an animal body and the soul in a human body. This is how the conversation began. The question answer began. Whether the soul in an animal's body would have a different shape to the soul in a human body. Prabhupada explained. The shape has been taken according to his desire. According to the soul's desire, he took the shape of a tiger body, or a bird body, or a human body, or a devata body, according to the desire. The shape has been taken according to his desire, the living entity's desire. Every animal has got these four things. Just like a bird, it has got 2 wings, 2 legs. It has got 4 limbs. The 4 limbs have been modified into wings, and the hind limbs have been modified into legs. The animal has got 4 legs, and the man has got 2 hands and 2 legs. So the same parts of the body are appearing in a different type, but the 4 limbs of the body are there. The questions continued in the same vein. Yashomati Nandan Das asked whether the eternal form of the spirit soul was human. What is the eternal form of the spirit soul? Eternal, not always. In the spiritual, is it always human? Asked whether the eternal form of the spirit soul was human. Yes, Prabhupada replied. Human form. God is also human form. Man is made after the image of God. I think that is in Bible. Is it not? So God is also like human form. Here you see Krishna, 2 hands, 2 legs. Another devotee had a doubt. How do we understand then there are peacocks and flowers and trees in the spiritual world? Are these not eternal forms? Prabhupada explained. They are more covered. Just like if you cover your body with blankets, the hands and legs are invisible. But you are not the blanket. So the trees and plants, they are more covered. They are not in full manifestation. The human form is the full manifestation of the soul. Prabhupada described about birds, animals, trees in this material world. So the devotee clarified. Devotee wondered whether they were covered in the spiritual world. In the material world, Prabhupada is saying they're covered like blanket. So, not in the spiritual world. There, that is voluntary. Some devotees want to serve Krishna as flowers. They become flowers there. If he wants that, as a flower I shall lie down at the lotus feet of Krishna, he becomes a flower voluntarily. And he can change his form from flower to human body. That is spiritual life. There is no restriction. If some devotee wants to serve Krishna as a cow, he serves Krishna as a cow, as a calf, as a flower, as a plant, as water, as ground, as field, or as father, mother, friend, beloved, anything. Ye yatha mam prapadyante thams tathaiva bhajamyaham. That is Krishna's all-powerfulness. You see the spiritual world, how it is? And how Prabhupada is giving spiritual world information. In one more conversation, similar thing. This was in which year? 1975, May, Melbourne. You can see it in the weather base also, it is there. Another occasion, 1973, Delhi. Devotee. Your divine grace, I understand the spirit soul is 1/10,000 the size of the tip of the hair. And in the spiritual world, is the size the same? So it's so small in the spiritual world. Prabhupada, no. When you get your spiritual body, you can enhance your body as you like. Just like Krishna can enhance his body, Varaha Murti, which can lift this earth on the tusk of Krishna. First of all, Varaha Murti came like a small germ from the nostril of Brahma. And Brahma said, what is this? And then became proof. So big that it covered the entire sky. Prabhupada is saying. So big that it covered the sky. Similarly, spiritual body means all freedom. You can increase, you can decrease, you can go anywhere, you can do whatever you like. That is spiritual. See the dynamism, the dynamics of the spiritual world. How Prabhupada is giving all this information. Krishna in the spiritual world. Once he called one of his servants, close associates, and told him, you must go to the spiritual world, you must go to the material world and explain the Shastra. And that great devotee, pure devotee, associate of the Lord, Krishna, no, material world. Oh, dangerous. Krishna said, no, I want you to go. I'll make all arrangements for you. Go to this material world and you write books. And you write books which will be understood all over the world. And that devotee is Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was sent by Krishna to give the information, to write books about the spiritual world. This is not a small thing. This is what is happening. I'll tell you, this is not only in our sampradaya, in the Gaudiya Vaishnava sampradaya, in Srila Prabhupada sampradaya. We must understand these things happening. I've heard another very interesting, similar example of Madhvacharya. There was one great devotee, disciple of Madhvacharya by name Trivikrama Pandita. A great scholar, great devotee. And he was the personal servant, secretary of Madhvacharya. There was a practice. Madhvacharya would go, take the bhoga, take it before the Lord, close the curtain, and ring the bell and make the offering. At that time, his disciples would be sitting outside the curtain and they would chant one stotra that is very common among the Madhvas, known as Dashavatara Stotra. Or Dashavatara, some stotra like that. I think it's called Dashavatara Stotra, which was composed by Madhvacharya. And it will take about few minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever number of minutes. And at that time, at the end of the chanting of the stotra, again the curtain will bell will ring, and the curtain is opened, and Madhvacharya brings the Naivedya, offered, prasadam. So this was the practice. Every day it would happen. So one day, Madhvacharya went, took the bhoga, closed the curtain, he rang the bell, and the disciples were chanting the stotra, and the stotra chanting got over, and they were expecting the bell will ring. The bell did not ring. They were looking at each other, what to do? Acharya has not come out. Then they said, okay, let's chant once again. And once again they chanted. Another 8, 10, whatever number of minutes it took. And they were waiting. Now, will the bell ring? The bell didn't ring. They were wondering what to do. They said, okay, let's chant once again. And they chanted once again. And then they were waiting, will the bell ring? The bell didn't ring. So among all of them, the senior most was Trivikramacharya. So he daringly went and pulled the curtain a little and peeped. And what he saw, he was shocked. This is what the biographers of Madhvacharya describe this. He was shocked. And he was speechless. And then they describe, he saw Ram and Hanuman sitting at his feet and Ramachandra giving him some direction. And next to him, Trivikramacharya saw Krishna was sitting there. And at his feet, Bhima was sitting and he was getting direction. And Bhima was with his gada, getting direction. And next to him was Vedavyasa, and at his feet was Madhvacharya sitting, and Vedavyasa was giving instruction to Madhvacharya, and he was hearing. This was the brilliant vision. When he opened the curtain, he saw. And he closes the curtain, and then he composes some prayers to Madhvacharya, which has also become an important part of Madhva tradition. Everybody has to learn these shlokas in the Madhva tradition, they say. So, it was at that time the Lord wanted certain. The idea here in this is that Hanuman, who served Rama, Bhima, who served Krishna, has now become Madhvacharya, and he is receiving instruction from Vyasa, and he is giving us. That's how Madhvacharya is considered as an incarnation of Hanuman, Bhima, and now he has now come as Madhvacharya in Kali Yuga. This is the understanding in their sampradaya. Very interesting. Respectfully, we should accept this. Just like in their sampradaya, this is a revelation. For us, we should know that Srila Prabhupada was sent by Krishna to write books. And Prabhupada said, Krishna told me to go to the material world. And I said, no, material world, horrible place. He said, no, you must go and write my books. And that's why Srila Prabhupada coming and writing books, writing these purports. And Prabhupada himself described, these purports are outpouring of my devotional ecstasies. These are very special. That's why it requires very careful reading. If we read it just like that, if we are not in the right frame of mind, right frame of consciousness, we will miss all the gems and the treasures that are there in Srila Prabhupada's books. So, these wonderful pure devotional principles, what is the mood in the spiritual world? Pure devotees don't want to whimsically, I want to see the Lord. I want to enjoy seeing Him. No, I just want to serve Him and please Him. This is the mood of the pure devotees in the spiritual world. This is the situation in the spiritual world. This is how dynamic it is. And those pure devotees want to serve the Lord in different ways, and the Lord facilitates. No restriction. What we want, we will get in the spiritual world. In the material world, it's struggle. We have to get this, we have to build a temple. In the spiritual world, the devotee desires, pure devotees desire, and every facility is provided. And the pure devotees are desiring in so many ways, in so many wonderful ways to please the Lord. And the Yogamaya, the spiritual energy is facilitating. And that is the spiritual world. We have left that and come here to the material world to want a son, to want a daughter, to want some money, to want some name and fame. And so, what has happened to us? The priests are regretting. And the Lord has come. How wonderful, how merciful He is. This is how the Ritvijas are concluding their prayers. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.